salutaris nostre, Domine ex meus, ex Deus, ex meus, Deus noster, Gabriel ex est, Angeli, Pateti, Laudem Domino Majestatis,
Hey, how's everybody doing? My name is Christian Wagner. I'm the Militant Thomist. So this would usually be a patron stream because usually I'll have 2 streams a day is the going forward plan, and then a clip and a short or something. 1 Patreon, 1 normal. But the clip that I put out yesterday from the patron stream seemed to confuse more people than it actually helped. So I decided to make today my patron stream public so I could explain what I was getting at a bit more about how Our Lady, though immaculately conceived, still died. So, and then as a quick note, later at 5:30 tonight, I'll be having a Q&A. If you click the join button below, then you can get the membership to my channel. So you will have basically unlimited super chats. So I will answer no matter how bad the question is, I will answer it. No matter what you want, as many times as you want. So you can just flood my chat with whatever questions you want, and I will answer all of them. So if you join there below, helps me out. You get a fun little avatar thingy next to your name. So that's just okay. Let me pull up my notes. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so slow today. Where is my notes? I guess I could just do it all from memory. There they are. Okay. So to begin with, we have to make a threefold distinction. So first, you're going to have what's called natural, second, preternatural, and then third, supernatural. So with natural, those are those things which are concomitant or come with or flow from a certain essence. So to make that less abstract, when it comes to human nature, those natural things are going to be the powers of my intellect. When it comes to knowing certain things through my sensitive faculties, it could be food. That's another thing that would be natural, something which is necessary for the sustenance of my essence. It could be water. It could be air. It could be various powers and such that are natural to me. That is what we mean by natural. And now they're what is called preternatural. So preternatural things are things which are above my nature, but exist in higher natures. So if we think about that a little more concretely, let's say the absence of concupiscence. So it is natural to man, because of our sensitive faculties, to have a certain disorder of our faculties, to where these appetites try to overpower the intellect and the will, whether that be hunger, thirst, hangry people. That is a perfect example of concupiscence ruling a certain person. But in angels do not have concupiscence because they do not have corporeal natures and sensitive faculties like we do. So with the angels are free from concupiscence. So an example of something which is preternatural to humans would be an absence of concupiscence. And now third, there is what is supernatural. So with the supernatural, not only does it arise above the natural powers and faculties and things which are concomitant with human nature, not only does it go above angelic nature, but every single created thing, whether real or possible. So it goes beyond the possibilities of all created things. So obviously, supernaturality itself is God, but there's also supernatural gifts. So things like faith, things like charity, things like the beatific vision, things like the hypostatic union, all of these things are properly speaking in this sense, in this very constrained context, supernatural. So let's think of a different example. So when it comes to the miraculous healing of a certain person, somebody has a broken leg, and you have a certain saint touches the leg, and the leg is healed. That's actually not something which is supernatural. While it's supernatural in the mode, so it's quad modum. That's the way in which it's supernatural. It's not supernatural according to the thing itself, because when it comes to the healing of limbs, we can do that through medical technology. And another example would be, let's say somebody is there's a famous story from one of the saints. I can't remember which one it is, but that saint, in praying to God, was completely freed from all of the sensuality of his appetites. Or another example would be Saint Thomas Aquinas, who was given to be without any inclination to venial sin, or as we would say, concupiscence. Now, that's something which is, while supernatural in mode, because it's not something which is habituated or something which is present in a created impure state, or something which is healed, but rather, well, it's something which is healed. And the healing of concupiscence is something which is supernatural in mode, but it's not supernatural in the thing itself. It's preternatural. So the third thing is going to be the beatific vision. And as I already said, the beatific vision is going to be something which is properly not only supernatural in mode, but it's also supernatural in content, because the angels do not, by their nature, see God. Neither does anything in creation by its nature see God. Rather, to see God as he is a property naturally only of God. So, in being given to share in that nature, it's not only supernatural in mode, but also supernatural in content. Okay, so why am I saying all of these things? Because it seems like a very convoluted way of explaining how Our Lady is without sin. So, in this, we can, applying it to our state as men, distinguish 7 states. And again, this seems convoluted, but it's going to all make sense in the end, I promise you. So the first state traditionally listed, and there's only 5 states traditionally listed, but I added 2 because I think it works out better actually pedagogically. So the first state is going to be the state of pure nature. Now, this is what you'll see David Bentley Hart and crew arguing and screaming about each other, and also Henri de Lubac and all of them screaming about and raging. And I also read it in Turretin, so it's not a new thing for people to scream and rage about the state of pure nature. But all that is it is a logical state. So notice, logical state wherein man merely has his natural gifts. So merely has the intellect, which is able to work sensitively and also discursively. It has the will, which is able to desire some good, but it also has certain things like concupiscence, whereby our faculties may be disordered. This is a state of pure nature. And again, it's merely a logical category. Nobody thinks that there was like this time period where there was a state of pure nature. Although I've heard some theologians mention some radical Scotists who said so, but I haven't really verified that claim on my own. So second, you can think of the state of perfect nature. And in the state of perfect nature, there's not only the natural gifts, there's also the preternatural gifts. So with the preternatural gifts, they have the powers of the intellect. They have the powers of discursive reasoning. They may even have some powers of the angelic intellect. So something which is the angels know the thing and all the things connected with it without the use of discursive reasoning. So we may even have those powers of intellect in the state of perfect nature. But we do not arise the capacities which are possible for a nature to have. And then third, we can think of the state of integrity. Now, the state of integrity is going to be the state, and again, the state of perfect nature, just as the state of pure nature, is a merely logical category. Again, we don't say there's anybody who ever existed in this category. It's kind of a thought experiment to be able to think through a lot of these issues of nature and grace. Third, you have the state of integrity. Now, with the state of integrity, not only is there the natural gifts, not only is there the preternatural gifts, but there is also some gifts of supernature. So in the gifts of supernature, there is the certain infused virtues, the infused virtue of charity, the infused virtue of faith and hope. You have that period of already and not yet, which is present with Adam, where he's in the garden with the supernatural gifts, but he doesn't reach his supernatural end yet. It's those various preparatory gifts of grace which are given to Adam. That is the state of integrity. Now, in the fourth, we can think of the state of fallen nature. So in the state of fallen nature, the preternatural and supernatural gifts have been taken away. There's also a certain damaging of our natural faculties, which is present, which I talked about actually this morning in commenting on the article that I was summarizing and annotating on the Annotated Thomist, which is a reminder to go sign up for the Annotated Thomist on christianbwagner.com to get access to all of those fun annotations of sections of St. Thomas. But besides that fact, with the state of fallen nature, there's a certain damaging which happens where there needs to be a healing to bring about the purity of nature, but there's also the loss of the preternatural and the supernatural gifts. And now the fifth state, we can think of the state of restored nature. Those of us who are in the faith, in a state of grace, are in the state of restored nature. Now, we haven't been given back the preternatural gifts because, for example, one of the preternatural gifts is immortality, and we don't yet have bodily immortality. And another one is freedom from concupiscence, and most of us do not have that freedom from concupiscence. Also, our intellects are do not work without discursion. We need discursive reasoning. So, those preternatural gifts have not been given back to us, but the life of grace has been given back to us. Some of the supernatural gifts, faith, hope, and charity, have been given to us. And now we can think of a sixth situation, and that is the state of natural beatitude. So in the state of natural beatitude, this only exists in one case. So this exists in the cases of those infants who die without baptism, because in their resurrected state, after the resurrection of the dead, they do not have the supernatural virtues because they do not have sanctifying grace, but they do have the preternatural gift, because infants in their resurrected bodies are immortal. They are free from a lot of the stains in which, a lot of the weakness of pure nature, a lot of stains which are present from sin, they're cleansed from. So they've been cleansed and, in a sense, restored, but only to their natural beatitude with some preternatural gifts. And now with the seventh, we can think of the beatific state, which is a lot like the state of integrity, but rather than being on the way, they have already reached the telos of the supernatural gifts. Okay, now why did I go over those seven states? So when we think of the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Blessed Virgin Mary obviously has certain natural gifts. She doesn't have the various stains and various damages, the various damage. How would I say that? The damage which is wrought by the sin of Adam. She does not have that. The certain weaknesses which are wrought in the flesh and in her faculties, that is not present. She has a pure nature. Now, when it comes to the Immaculate Conception, there's also the virtues which are infused into her. So she has the supernatural gifts, and she has natural integrity. Now, what about the preternatural gifts? So this is where it gets really important. With the preternatural gifts, we do not and ought not to say that all of the preternatural gifts have been given to Our Lady. She still has to use discursive reasoning, and she's still mortal. When it comes to mortality, although one of the preternatural gifts she does have is freedom from concupiscence, so to be very clear right there. When it comes to mortality, mortality is something which is natural to man. In the garden, the only reason that man did not die was because of a certain preternatural gift above the individual nature of man. There was that preternatural gift which was necessary for our first parents not to die in the garden. So with Our Lady, we do not say that she had that preternatural gift of immortality. So let me see if there's any comments. New member, Chad, based king right there. How's it going, King? Absolute king status right there. Based Chad status. Okay, so if you guys do not have any questions, I'll get going. And remember, all of you, come back at 5:30 because I'm going to have a massive Q&A. I tried to reach out to Dende to see if he'd come on, but Dende has not gotten back to me. So make sure you all go to the Discord, go and tag at Dende, and make sure you message Dende about 1,000 times. I want Dende to wake up or whatever he's doing, get back to Discord and see just hundreds of notifications from the Militant Thomist server. We need to absolutely harass Dende so he comes on tonight. Okay, thank you all for stopping by. I really appreciate all of you, and I will talk to you later. I hope this helped. Remember, subscribe, like, comment.